This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
Well, for 8 days, Governor Asa Hutchinson and his Economic Development Chief Mike Preston traveled, toured, and pitched Arkansas across Asia, notably China and Japan. Joining me to talk about the globe-trotting trade mission is Mike Preston, Executive Director of the Arkansas Economic Development Commission. Welcome back, and hope you're getting a little readjusted to U.S. time, Arkansas time.
I am. We're trying. Thanks for having today, Roby. Appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you coming in. Let's talk about one of the biggest things that came out of this trip. It was already announced that you guys have signed a memorandum of understanding with Sun Paper Company.
That's right.
To do a $1.4 billion project here in Arkansas. This project originated back in the Beebe administration, but it kind of went by the wayside. What resurrected it?
Well, I wouldn't say that it was ever gone away. It's been one of those ones that's ongoing. Like a lot of projects, they start and they're not over in a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Sometimes they take a couple of years, and this is a perfect example of one that took a few years to get there. So our team, kudos to them, the folks at AEDC, Mark Hamer, Bentley Story, and then Lindsay Liu, who is our China office, have been working this project for years now. And since I came on board, I've had the opportunity to start working with them as well. It kind of died out a little bit there, but we were continuing to push it. And then since I've been on board, I think we've hosted them at least 3 times here in the state. And then we knew that it was going to be important for us to go there, meet with their leadership team, see their facilities, and talk about exactly what do you want to do in Arkansas. And we started talking, probably about a month before the trip that we'd like to get something, let's get this close to finalized. So we started working through it, and actually while we were there is when we were able to sign the MOU, and when we got there it wasn't done. So it took us going to their facility, meeting with them, and I want to say literally it was a little after midnight one night when we finally got to the language that we all agreed upon. So it was about 4 or 5 hours in a room of us sitting down discussing line by line exactly what's going to happen. So it literally just took us going there and hammering out the details, and we're able to finalize it.
I'm not going to ask you if sake was involved or not. So will this rise to the level of a super project? Will you have to go to the legislature, do you think, to try to incentivize this way in any particular way?
No, I don't think so. I think that we have a very aggressive incentive package on the table. Obviously, we'll have a little bit more negotiations to go as we finalize the project and we drill down on some specific numbers on jobs. Obviously, the capital investment we're estimating right now at $1.36 billion, and then the wages will come into play. Right now, we're looking about $27 an hour on the wages that they'll pay for the direct jobs. So. We got a little bit more to go, so there's still some negotiations to take place, but I don't think we'll have to go to the legislature. I think within our existing resources we have through the Governor's Quick Action Closing Fund, some create rebates, some tax incentives, some tax-back guarantees, we'll be able to finalize the deal.
All right, so this is a manufacturing process. They basically want to take some of the pulp that is the byproduct of the timber industry and processing in their fluff pulp, I think is what it's called.
Correct.
Ship it to China, turn that raw material into some finished product. Does it come back to the U.S. for sale? Does it go for sale worldwide?
It goes for sale worldwide. They're a global company with over 10,000 employees around the globe. They do not have a facility in the United States, so this would be their first one, but exactly. We have the timber. We have an abundance of resources in South Arkansas for the timber that they need. And it makes a lot of sense for them to do the project here, and then they'll ship it overseas back to China to manufacture it into the product, as you talked about.
Is there any sensitivity to some companies that may have locations in the U.S. or Arkansas that make similar products that this could be a state incentive to competition?
I don't think so, because, like I said, it's going back overseas. It's not going to be competing with them in the U.S. market, and we've done the studies of our timber a basket there in the region, and we have an abundance that I think there's going to be plenty of timber for not only this facility, but maybe future facilities, not with this company, but maybe other companies in the future. So I don't think we're going to we'll have competition, but it's not so much that anyone's going to be driven out of the market.
Like Big River Steel, where you have potential for supplier companies to locate around that particular plant. Will that be the case with Sun Paper, do you think?
Well, you'll have the potential for suppliers, absolutely, but in our case, and why it's so important that the timber industry kind of took a downturn when the economy took a downturn in housing, and we saw some local companies, some logging companies, some trucking companies that were affected during the downturn and really haven't been able to come back. This is going to allow those trucking companies, those logging companies, those ancillary jobs that support a pulp industry to allow them to come back into the South Arkansas area.
All right, we've obsessed enough on some paper company. Let's talk about some other takeaways from the trip overseas. What else happened in China? I'll come to Japan in a second, but what else happened in China?
Absolutely. Well, we were, as I was saying before, we had 5 days in China, 5 nights in 5 different hotels. So China's a big company and a lot of ground to cover. So we were on the go constantly. We were in 4 different provinces in China. I would try to repeat the names, but the jet lag still hasn't caught up to me, and I'd probably butcher them, so I'll spare you guys from that. But a big part of what we were there for, too, is what's called JCCT, and it's a Joint Commission on Commerce and Trade. I think this is the 26th year running that they have this, and it's a conference between business leaders and government officials from the U.S. and China talking just about commerce and trade. Governor Hutchinson was able to be one of the featured keynote speakers, as well as Ambassador Baucus, and Mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, was there as well.
All right, so in Japan, you went over there. There are Arkansas companies that have headquarters in Japan, so there's a little bit deeper relationship there.
There is, and it's so important for us to maintain those relationships, to show our appreciation to those companies. There's 19 Japanese-owned companies in Arkansas employing over 5,000 employees in our state. And we weren't able to hit all 19, but we hit a vast number of them. An opportunity for myself and our governor to go over there and say, you know, we appreciate your business in Arkansas. You know, do you have any impediments to growth? How can we help you grow? We want to make sure that you have all the tools at your fingertips to grow in Arkansas, and we want to be there to support you. And I'll go back and I'll mention a comment that Ambassador Baucus told us when we were meeting with him. Ambassador Baucus was a former governor, or it's not a governor, senator of Montana.
Right.
And he mentioned that he was encouraged with his governor at the time to go to Japan many years ago. They were recruiting a company, and they get over there and start talking about Montana, and everybody's got this puzzled look on their face. Where's Montana? Do you have airports? And he's like, how do you not know about Montana? And they start telling him everything about Tennessee. And I was like, why do you know so much about Tennessee? He said, well, Governor Lamar Alexander is here all the time. And as a result of that, you see that Nissan and Toyota have these facilities in Tennessee. So Ambassador Baucus' point was, you have to be there. You have to go to these countries and show that, you know, what your state has to offer. We have 50 states that, you know, are all competing for jobs, and if we're not going into these large markets overseas, we're going to miss opportunities. And that was something that a real takeaway for me, both Japan and even China. There's so much opportunity there. They want to invest in our country. There's so many opportunities that we have, and us being there, marketing and selling the state, they now know who Arkansas is.
About 30 seconds left. Do you have active prospects? You see more fruit coming off the tree?
Absolutely. We have more active prospects. We're able to meet with some of them, and some of the takeaways as well from the government is that they want these Chinese companies to invest overseas. They've kind of hit a cap in their market. They would love for them to go overseas. So there's a lot of talk between the government and businesses over there that let's go to others overseas and start looking. They look at the U.S. as a stable market. So Arkansas is a leader in the U.S. So why not have them here?
All right. Well, welcome back.
Thank
Mike
you.
Preston with the Arkansas Economic Development Commission. Thank you so much.
All right.